What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you again for 100 subscribers. I really appreciate all the support. And today I'm going to be working on something that I've been dreading to do in a long time. So today I'm going to be working on trying to put on these Ulterior Motive LS400 rear flares onto the IS300. So I actually ordered two sizes of this flare. The one that's on the car right now is the 1-inch, and I also have a 1.5 inch. I wanted to see which one would fit better, and the 1-inch gave a little bit more room to play with right here on the dog leg, I think is what they call it. And if I had the 1.5 inch on there, then it would actually go right to the edge of the dog leg, which would have been fine, but I wanted some room to play with when I have to blend it in with the body with some Bondo. And I've already started kind of mocking up where I want to have the arch or the flare sit on the body. Just a bunch of tedious work, measuring, placing with the clamps, and also marked up the area where I'm gonna cut off this end because I really don't want to mold the flare to the rear bumper because I'm kind of over all the body work already, working on the front fenders and the body kit. So I think I'm just gonna make it easier for myself and just chop off the flare here. Yeah, here's a look at how this side's sitting, and just to see how much width it actually adds to the fender. And here's a look at the other side. Alright, there are a couple of reasons why I didn't want to go with the matching Ascura rear over fenders to match my front fenders. One is that they're fiberglass, and I don't want to really work with fiberglass anymore. I want to try something new with metal, because after working with metal on my rocker panel and welding it with flux core, it's actually not so bad welding with flux core, and I really think that metal work is actually a lot more enjoyable when it's done. And second is that with the Ascura rear over fenders, you're gonna have to actually mold it with the door piece, and I don't really want to work with the door. I just want to keep all the work on the rear quarter panels. So yeah, so let's get to cutting. Alright, I got both flares cut out now and got this side mocked up. It actually looks pretty good with the bumper piece cut off. I didn't know how it was gonna look, but I actually like how it looks. It's pretty nice. So this is the last time you're gonna see it just mocked up before I actually cut into the body. I already marked the outer edge of the flare and where it's gonna sit on the body, so that I know where to weld it on. That's the outer line, and the inner line is about a 1/2 inch below that. That's just gonna be where I cut the OEM arch. And before I go ahead and cut off the OEM arch, I'm gonna go ahead and grind off the top line, get the paint off of there, because once I cut off the arch, I know it's gonna be kind of weak, and I don't want to be putting that much pressure on the body at that point. Seems like this car has a lot of surprises. There's a lot of layers of Bondo and paint on here. Alright, this side's all grinded down the best I can and cleaned up. So now I'm gonna go ahead and cut the OEM arch off. Okay, so at this point I finished cutting through the outer layer of the quarter panel, but the outer layer was not separating from the inner layer, so what I decided to do was to just cut through both layers at the same time, which is going to leave a gap between the two layers, but I just decided to go ahead and fill it with silicone after this to prevent any water from getting in and sealing the gap between the two panels. I did watch a couple over fender install videos before this, and what they usually do is they cut the outer panel off first, and then they cut the inner panel into little pie sections. Then they bend those pie sections outward to meet with the freshly cut outer panel. And what they do is they weld those two layers together to seal off the body from any dirt or water that would get in there from driving. If you guys were gonna do this, I would suggest going that route. It's just an overall cleaner way. And if I did have a lot more time, then I would try to figure out how to do it that way, but things were just not working out for me, so I just decided to cut all the way through. Alright, it's cut out. Could have went a little smoother, but I guess it'll do for now. And this is another reason why I wanted to change out the flares or the arches, because these things are super rusty. And before I start to weld on the flare, I'm gonna hit it with a wire wheel to get all the surface rust off. So as you can see, there is a gap between the inner and outer fender. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just gonna go ahead and weld on the flare right now, and then after that I'll come in and, behind it, and then I'll fill it in with some silicone. Both sides are welded on now. Here's a look at my bird shit welds. Just did tacks all around. And here's how wide it is now. She's on there. And here's the other side. So what's next is to just use a wire wheel on an angle grinder, I guess. And I'm gonna take away all the spatter and then use a flap disc to get it smooth, so I can put some Bondo to blend it with the body. Both sides are grinded down, and it's pretty smooth. It's alright, Bondo's gonna cover it. So it's been a couple days now, and after I let the Bondo glass dry, I went ahead and sanded it down with an orbital sander to get most of the bulk off. Then I filled it more with some regular Bondo body filler, then sanded it more with the orbital sander, and then after that I hit it with a sanding block to get the contour or the roundness pretty uniform and smooth around the arch. Then I sprayed some filler primer to go ahead and show all of the imperfections. As you can see there's some raised spots from the metal where I sanded too much of the body filler off, but I'm gonna go ahead and save that for another day to fix. Alright guys, so the flares are done now, and I've been driving around on them for a couple of days. What I didn't show was me going underneath and siliconing all of the little, I guess, spaces that I made when I cut the fender. So I just filled it with silicone, and then I went ahead and put a couple coats of Rust-Oleum on the underside where there's bare metal, and also on top of the silicone. If I could, I would have used Pour 15, but I didn't have any of that around, so I just went ahead and got some Rust-Oleum from the hardware store. But overall, the fenders are looking pretty sick. Here's a shot from the back. Alright, that's going to be the end of the video. Please let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about the rear flares and how they turned out. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys' support, and I'll see you in the next video.